By giving you some simple tools to develop your well-being and help you to be more resilient against the stresses and strains of a difficult work environment. First, we need to understand a bit about how our brain functions and how it strengthens its ability to manage when times are challenging at work or in our lives. Neuroscientists have discovered more and more about how the brain works using functional MRI scans. So starting at the beginning, when we are born, we have lots of connections in our brains, synapses, and in our first year they grow at a staggering 2 million per second, but by the age of 20, the total number we ever had has halved. But interestingly, the ones we regularly use become stronger, and this allows us to use them more easily and rapidly when we need them, and stops us wasting energy on what we don't use anymore. We can also train our brains, allowing us to be more positive and deal more effectively with challenging situations. And we can do this just by developing good habits. The ancient Greeks knew this and said that to experience well-being, we need to think deeper once a day and have good habits. But what about us in the 21st century? How can we train our brains to develop these good habits? Well, here's a prescription, and we will take it step by step and give you hints and tips for the things you can do which might be helpful. First, try to develop a positive attitude. Interrupt the negative when you wake up to a day that doesn't seem promising or is full of tasks you don't enjoy. Try not to dwell on the bad, but rather focus on the fact that it will soon be over, and its importance to you on a scale of 1 to 10. This may sound obvious, but it will allow your brain to develop pathways that are helpful in finding the positives in future situations, and the negative thought pathways will tend to fade. Reflection helps with this too, and allows us to look at situations in a more detached manner, and gives us space for deep thought like the ancient Greeks. It can also help us to reframe our thoughts, see them from a different angle. Look for good role models. What makes them resilient? And what can you do like them? But remember that you are already strong. So where are your strengths? If you look online, you will find lots of questionnaires that are free, such as where you are less strong, find others to support you who have strengths in these areas. Getting feedback from others about your strengths helps identify them as well. And you should consider using a mentor to work on identifying and using strengths and weaknesses to work through problems. So does this mean being happy all the time? Well, no. It is important to accept that we can be sad or experience fear. Works. So to recap, eat, sleep and exercise well. Make time to think and reflect and highlight what you feel and use it to move on. Use a mentor. Keep social contacts. Do simple kindnesses for others. And make space to be yourself. Finally, write down 3 good things that happened during every day. Now it's over to you, and remember, small steps and changes towards building yourself a reservoir of psychological strength to help yourself and others in difficult times.